Alright, let's dive into this because there's a lot more going on here than just a pre-season friendly. Tottenham vs Getafe. Sounds like a routine warm-up game, right? Wrong. Personally, I think this match is a microcosm of where Spurs are right now as a club. It's not just about the lineup or the result, it's about the bigger picture, the challenges, and the opportunities. Let me break it down for you. First off, the timing of this game is fascinating. Spurs are back in London after a successful tour down under, where they capped things off with a dramatic win over Chelsea. That last-minute goal from Richarlison? Iconic. But here's the thing, that win wasn't just about the scoreline. It was about momentum, about proving they can grind out results even when things aren't perfect. And that's crucial because, let's be honest, last season was a roller coaster for Tottenham. Injuries derailed their campaign, and De Zerbi knows he can't afford a repeat. So, this game against Getafe? It's a chance to keep that momentum going, but also to test their depth and resilience. Now, let's talk about the injury situation because it's a big deal. Maddison and Udogie and James Maddison haven't featured at all in preseason, and Maddison's hip issue has him in a race against time for the Brentford opener. What many people don't realize is how much these absences could impact the team's chemistry. Maddison, in particular, is a creative linchpin. Without him, Spurs lose a lot of their attacking fluidity. And then there's Mickey van de Ven, who's been sidelined since the World Cup. He's on the verge of a new contract, which is great, but his absence raises questions about the defense's cohesion. If you take a step back and think about it, these injuries aren't just physical setbacks, they're strategic headaches for De Zerbi. What makes this really interesting is how De Zerbi is handling it all. He's being cautious, which is smart, but it also means we might not see a full-strength 11 against Getafe. That said, players like Fernandes are back in contention after a calf issue, and that's a positive. Fernandes is an £85 million signing, and getting him match-fit is crucial. But here's the kicker, Kudus and Kulusevski are still major doubts. Kudus is training again after his quad injury, but Kulusevski? He's been out for over a year with a patella injury. In my opinion, rushing him back would be a mistake. Spurs need him long-term, not just for a pre-season friendly. This raises a deeper question, how much risk is too much risk when it comes to player fitness? From my perspective, this game is as much about the players on the pitch as it is about the ones on the sidelines. It's about De Zerbi figuring out how to balance caution with ambition. Personally, I think the predicted lineup, Kinsky, Gray, Van de Ven, Van Hecke, Robertson, Fernandes, Tonali, Williams-Barnett, Gallagher, Tell, Solanke, is a solid mix of experience and youth. But what this really suggests is that Spurs are still in transition. They've spent big, they've got talent, but they're still figuring out how all the pieces fit together. And that's okay. Preseason is the time for experimentation, for building relationships, for ironing out the kinks. One thing that immediately stands out is the absence of Maddison and Udogie in that lineup. Those are two players who could make a huge difference against Brentford. So, is De Zerbi saving them for the Premier League opener? Or is he still unsure about their fitness? A detail I find fascinating is how Spurs are handling Kulusevski. They're being ultra careful, which is the right call, but it also means they're missing a key creative outlet. If he's not ready for Getafe, when will he be? And how will that impact their early season form? Finally, let's not forget the context. After Getafe, Spurs face Hoffenheim in a doubleheader before the Brentford game. That's a tough schedule, and it's designed to test them. But here's the thing, preseason isn't just about results. It's about preparation, about setting the tone for the season ahead. So, while a win against Getafe would be nice, what really matters is how Spurs perform, how they adapt, and how they handle the challenges they face. In my opinion, this game is a litmus test for where they're at, and where they're headed. What do you think? Are Spurs on the right track, or are there too many question marks? Let me know in the comments below.